it took a long time to do it. It took me about 16 years to stretch to this size, yeah, so.
The human body is a marvel of nature, perfectly proportioned and designed for survival. But every now and then, nature takes an extraordinary turn, creating individuals whose bodies defy our understanding of normal proportions. These are not just medical curiosities. These are real people with real stories, living lives that challenge everything we think we know about human anatomy. Today, we're diving into the remarkable tales of 7 individuals whose body parts have grown beyond all expectations, turning what could have been obstacles into sources of strength and even fame. From fingers that span impossible lengths to tongues that can hold 5 donuts at once, these stories will leave you questioning the limits of human variation. Prepare yourself for a journey that's equal parts fascinating and inspiring, as we explore the lives of people who've transformed their unique conditions into symbols of resilience, breaking world records and capturing hearts along the way. These aren't the household names you might expect, but their stories are no less extraordinary for being lesser known. In a remote village in China, a man named Louis Hua was born with a condition that would change his life forever. As a child, his left hand looked relatively normal, but as he grew, 3 of his fingers began expanding at an alarming rate. What started as slightly larger digits transformed into something that defied belief. Fingers so massive, they would eventually weigh down his entire arm. By the time Louis Hua reached adulthood, his condition had become impossible to ignore. His left thumb measured an astounding 10.2 inches long, while his index finger stretched nearly a full foot at 12 inches. His middle finger, though smaller than the others, still measured 6 inches in length. The overall weight of his enlarged hand and arm reached a staggering 22 pounds, making even the simplest daily tasks nearly impossible. Louis Hua suffered from a rare condition called macrodactyly, where certain digits grow far beyond normal proportions due to excessive growth of bone and soft tissue. The name literally means large fingers, but this simple description hardly captures the profound impact it had on his life. His fingers were actually thicker than his arms, creating a grotesque imbalance that left his left hand completely useless. The psychological toll was immense. "My thumb and index finger are even thicker than my arms, and make my left hand useless," Louis Hua explained to doctors. "When I go out, I have to wrap my left hand in clothes and pretend I'm holding a bag." For years, he lived in shame, hiding his condition from the world and struggling with the most basic activities that others take for granted. In July 2007, Louis Hua finally sought help at Shanghai No. 9 People's Hospital, where doctors marveled at what they called the biggest hand in the world. The surgical team, led by skilled plastic surgeons, undertook a grueling 7-hour operation to reduce the size of his fingers. During this complex procedure, they removed an incredible 11 pounds of flesh and bone, fundamentally reshaping his hand. The surgery was just the beginning of Louis Hua's journey. He required additional operations and extensive rehabilitation to regain function in his hand. Today, he has 3 working fingers on his left hand: his thumb, ring finger, and little finger. While his hand will never look completely normal, the surgeries gave him something invaluable: the ability to live without hiding, and the chance to use his hand for everyday tasks. Across the Pacific Ocean in California, a young comedian and artist named Nick Stoberl discovered he possessed one of the most unusual talents in the world. While most people can barely touch their nose with their tongue, Nick's tongue measures an extraordinary 10.1 centimeters, nearly 4 inches, from tip to closed upper lip, making him the official record holder for the longest tongue in the world. Nick first realized his tongue was unusual during childhood road trips, when he would stick it out at other cars and notice the shocked reactions of passengers. "I've always sort of known I've had a long tongue, just like you would know if your hand was bigger," Nick recalls. It wasn't until he was older that he discovered just how exceptional his oral appendage really was. His tongue is roughly 3 times longer than average, measuring about the same length as an iPhone. This remarkable feature has opened unexpected doors in Nick's life, transforming what could have been an embarrassing quirk into a source of pride and even income. He's appeared on television shows around the world, demonstrating his unique abilities. and sharing his story with fascinated audiences. But Nick's tongue isn't just about breaking records. It's surprisingly practical. He can lick food off his face without using napkins, making him somewhat eco-friendly, as he jokes. He can also perform the seemingly impossible feat of licking his own elbow, something that's considered physically impossible for most people. His enhanced reach even allows him to clean pudding from the bottom of cups with ease. Perhaps most impressively, Nick has turned his unusual anatomy into art. Using his tongue as a paintbrush, he creates unique paintings that have sold for over $1,200. He covers his tongue with plastic wrap, dips it in paint, and creates colorful masterpieces. This artistic pursuit has earned him the nickname Licasso, a playful take on the famous painter Picasso. The path to official recognition wasn't simple. Nick spent years attempting to register his record with Guinness World Records, competing against other long-tongued individuals around the globe. In 2012, he finally achieved his goal, surpassing the previous record holder, a British man whose tongue measured 3.86 inches. Since then, Nick has used his platform to inspire others to embrace what makes them unique. There's not too many downsides to having a really long tongue, Nick admits, though he does face some challenges. He's at higher risk of choking on his tongue while sleeping, and he receives countless unusual requests from strangers who discover his talent. Despite these minor inconveniences, Nick wouldn't change his extraordinary feature for anything. While Nick holds the male record, the female record belongs to another Californian, Chanel Tapper, whose tongue measures 9.75 centimeters. Chanel first noticed her unusually long tongue at age 8 while posing for Halloween photos with her mother. A photograph revealed that her tongue was twice as long as her mother's, sparking years of curiosity about her unique feature. Like Nick, Chanel has embraced her record-breaking tongue, enjoying the shocked reactions it produces. "I love it when people get such a shock that they scream in horror," she shares with obvious delight. Her tongue, roughly the size of an iPhone, has made her a viral sensation and earned her appearances on various platforms where she proudly demonstrates her remarkable reach. Both Nick and Chanel prove that sometimes our most unusual features can become our greatest assets. Their tongues have brought them fame, artistic opportunities, and the chance to inspire others to celebrate their differences rather than hide them. From Egypt comes the story of Muhammad Shahata, a man whose arms can span distances that seem to defy human anatomy. Standing at 7 feet tall, Muhammad's arm span measures an incredible 8 feet 2.5 inches, earning him the Guinness World Record for the widest arm span on a living person. When he stretches his arms horizontally, the distance from fingertip to fingertip is actually longer than his height, a rare anatomical anomaly. Muhammad's extraordinary reach gives him advantages that most people could never imagine. His hand span alone measures 31.4 centimeters, allowing him to palm basketballs with ease and reach objects that would be impossible for others. This natural advantage might seem like a blessing, but like many people with unusual body proportions, Muhammad faces daily challenges that others never consider. Finding clothes that fit properly is a constant struggle. Standard shirt sleeves fall far short of his wrists, requiring custom tailoring for any formal wear. Airplane seats become torture chambers, with armrests that can't accommodate his wingspan. Even simple activities like hugging friends require careful coordination to avoid accidentally overwhelming them with his enormous reach. But Muhammad has learned to embrace his unique proportions. His record-breaking measurements were officially verified in Cairo in 2021, bringing him international recognition and the opportunity to inspire others with unusual body proportions. His story demonstrates that what makes us different can also make us remarkable. The fascinating aspect of Muhammad's condition is how his body proportions work together. While his height of 7 feet is certainly above average, his arm span extends even further, creating a wing-like appearance when he spreads his arms. This proportion is so unusual that it immediately catches the eye of anyone who sees him, making him instantly recognizable wherever he goes. Muhammad's daily life requires constant adaptation. Door frames become obstacles he must navigate carefully, and finding furniture that accommodates his reach is an ongoing challenge. Yet he's found ways to turn his unusual proportions into advantages, using his incredible reach. for practical purposes and inspiring others to see their differences as strengths rather than limitations. Quick pause. If these stories are blowing your mind as much as ours, smash that subscribe button and let's keep exploring the incredible together. In Turkey, a man named Mehmet Özürek carried a feature that was impossible to ignore: the longest nose in recorded history. Measuring 8.8 centimeters from bridge to tip, roughly the length of a playing card, Mehmet's nose was so prominent that it dominated his entire face and defined his appearance from childhood through his death in 2023 at age 73. Mehmet's journey with his remarkable nose began with childhood ridicule. "My friends used to call me Big Nose to upset me," he recalled years later. The constant teasing and staring took a psychological toll, making him self-conscious about his appearance. But as he grew older, Mehmet underwent a profound transformation in how he viewed his unique feature. The turning point came when he looked in the mirror one day and decided to embrace what made him different. "God made me like this. There is nothing that can be done in this situation. I learned to live in peace with my physique," he explained. This acceptance marked the beginning of a remarkable journey that would bring him international fame and recognition. Mehmet's nose wasn't just large, it was functionally different as well. He claimed to have an enhanced sense of smell that far exceeded normal human capabilities. "My sense of smell is different from other people," he explained. "I say, there is a smell here. Other people say, we don't smell that smell. For example, I enter my house. I can immediately tell which dish is cooked." His extraordinary nose also enabled some impressive party tricks. During a 2010 appearance on an Italian television show, Mehmet demonstrated his ability to inflate a balloon using just his nostril, amazing the audience with this unique talent. Such demonstrations helped him embrace his difference and find joy in what had once been a source of shame. Large noses ran in Mehmet's family, though doctors never determined the exact cause of their distinctive features. Interestingly, this trait didn't continue to the generations after Mehmet, making him unique even within his own family line. His father and uncles shared similar features, but his children did not inherit the prominent nose. When Mehmet finally achieved his Guinness World Record in 2001, he discovered a sense of pride he had never experienced before. The recognition transformed his perspective completely. "I love it, this feature. The world likes it. Guinness World Records likes it, of course. My wife likes it too," he declared with obvious joy. Throughout his life, Mehmet attracted attention wherever he went. "When I enter a social situation, I immediately draw attention. Everyone looks at me. They examine me. I know what they're thinking when they look at me," he acknowledged. But rather than hiding from this attention, he learned to embrace it, using his platform to inspire others to accept their unique features. Mehmet's measurements remained constant throughout his adult life, disproving the common myth that noses continue growing with age. When remeasured in both 2020 and 2021, his nose still measured exactly 8.8 centimeters, the same as when first recorded decades earlier. His consistency in maintaining the record for over 2 decades made him a beloved figure in the world of unusual achievements. Far from Turkey, in the tropical paradise of Hawaii, lives a man whose appearance challenges every conventional notion of ear anatomy. Kala Kaiwi, also known as Kalawelo, is a tattoo artist who has stretched his earlobes to an almost unimaginable size, creating flesh tunnels that measure over 4 inches in diameter, large enough to fit his entire fist through. Kayla's journey into extreme body modification began years ago and required incredible patience and dedication. Stretching earlobes to such enormous proportions isn't something that happens overnight. It's a gradual process that can take many years, slowly increasing the size of the holes over time to allow the tissue to adapt and heal properly. The final result is truly remarkable to behold. Kayla's earlobes now contain flesh tunnels measuring 10.5 centimeters in diameter, earning him the Guinness World Record for the largest earlobe flesh tunnels. The holes are so large they're about the diameter of a teacup, and big enough for a clenched fist to pass through comfortably. As a tattoo artist running the Sin City Body Modification and Tattoo Shop in Hilo, Hawaii, Kala's extreme modifications serve as both personal expression and professional advertisement. His appearance immediately demonstrates his commitment to body art and modification. giving potential customers confidence in his expertise and dedication to the craft. But Kayla's modifications extend far beyond his massive earlobes. He's also split his tongue like a snake, reportedly performing this modification himself using dental floss. Silicone horns implanted into his head create an otherworldly appearance, while flesh tunnels in his nostrils and lower lip add to his unique aesthetic. Bold holes on his forehead are fitted with spikes, and his tattooed eyebrows and even tattooed eyeball complete his transformation. Living with such extreme modifications requires significant lifestyle adjustments. Simple activities like sleeping require careful positioning to avoid damage to his stretched lobes. Swimming and water activities need special consideration to prevent infection or injury. Even basic clothing choices must account for his unusual anatomy. Yet for Kayla, these modifications represent freedom of expression and personal choice. In a world where conformity is often expected, his appearance challenges people to question their assumptions about beauty and normalcy. His record-breaking earlobes have made him famous worldwide, inspiring others in the body modification community to pursue their own unique transformations. The process of achieving such large flesh tunnels requires not just physical commitment, but also careful medical attention. Regular cleaning and maintenance are essential to prevent infection, and the stretching process must be done gradually to avoid permanent damage. Kayla's success in achieving such large modifications safely demonstrates both his dedication and his understanding of proper body modification techniques. Our final story takes us to Pennsylvania and the extraordinary life of Matthew McGrory, an actor whose massive stature brought him Hollywood fame, but whose individual body parts were just as remarkable as his overall height. Standing 7 feet 6 inches tall, Matthew held multiple world records that few people knew about, including having the longest toes ever measured on a human being. Matthew's big toes measured an incredible 5 inches long, while even his little toes stretched 1.5 inches, proportions that seemed impossible until officially verified by Guinness World Records. Combined with his size 29.5 shoes, Matthew's feet were so large that finding footwear became a constant challenge requiring custom manufacturing. Born in Westchester in 1973, Matthew was already over 5 feet tall by the time he finished kindergarten, signaling that he would grow to extraordinary proportions. His condition, likely caused by excess growth hormone, affected his entire body, but was particularly noticeable in his extremities. His hands, feet, and toes all grew to proportions that matched his towering height. Despite the challenges of his size, Matthew embraced his unique appearance and turned it into a successful acting career. He's best known for playing Carl the Giant in Tim Burton's Big Fish, where camera tricks made him appear even taller than his already impressive 7 feet 6 inches frame. He also appeared in horror films like House of 1,000 Corpses and The Devil's Rejects, where his imposing presence created genuinely frightening characters. Matthew's journey to fame began with appearances on The Howard Stern Show, where his enormous size and gentle personality made him a fan favorite. He became part of Stern's Whack Pack and used these appearances to launch his acting career. His deep voice and imposing presence made him perfect for playing giants, monsters, and other larger-than-life characters. The practical challenges of Matthew's size were immense. Custom shoes cost thousands of dollars and took months to manufacture. Finding clothes required special ordering from companies that specialized in extreme sizes. Airplane travel was virtually impossible without special accommodations, and even simple furniture became inadequate for his proportions. Yet Matthew maintained a positive attitude throughout his life, using his unique appearance to inspire others and entertain audiences. His longest toes were just one part of his extraordinary anatomy, but they symbolized how every aspect of his body exceeded normal human proportions. He also held records for largest hands and feet, making him a truly unique individual in the record books. Tragically, Matthew's life was cut short in 2005 when he died of congestive heart failure at just 32 years old. His death highlighted the health challenges that often accompany extreme height and body proportions. Despite his brief life, Matthew left a lasting impact on everyone who met him, proving that what makes us different can also make us unforgettable. His record for longest toes remains unbroken, a testament to just how extraordinary his proportions were. Matthew's story reminds us that behind every world record is a real person with real challenges, dreams, and the determination to make the most of their unique gifts. As we conclude this remarkable journey through the lives of 7 extraordinary individuals, we're reminded that the human body's capacity for variation knows no bounds. Each person we've encountered today has faced unique challenges that most of us could never imagine. Yet they've all found ways to transform what could have been burdens into sources of strength, pride, and even fame. From Louis Hua's massive fingers to Nick Stugel's record-breaking tongue, from Mohammed Shahada's incredible arm span to Mehmet Ozurek's prominent nose, from Kala Kaiwi's extreme modifications to Matthew McGrory's extraordinary toes. Each story demonstrates the power of human resilience and the importance of embracing what makes us unique. These individuals remind us that normalcy is just a concept, and that our differences often hold the key to our greatest achievements. Their courage to live openly with their unusual features has not only earned them places in the record books, but has also inspired countless others to accept and celebrate their own uniqueness. In a world that often pressures us to conform, these 7 people stand as beacons of individuality, proving that our most unusual features can become our greatest strengths. Their stories continue to captivate and inspire, reminding us that extraordinary lives come in all shapes and sizes, sometimes quite literally. The next time you feel self-conscious about something that makes you different, remember these remarkable individuals who turned their most unusual features into sources of pride, achievement, and inspiration for millions around the world. Which story shocked you the most? Drop a comment, hit that like button, and subscribe for more incredible human stories. Trust me, we've got some wild ones coming up.